Alright, so the 1.6 trailer for Star Rail is out and they had the special program yesterday. Let's have a look at what will happen in the upcoming patch. I heard quite a lot of good things, but haven't seen it myself, so I'm not sure what those good things are. I know most of you are hyped for Penacony, though it doesn't seem like we'll be reaching that location soon and more likely in 2.0. Anyways, I'll shut up now and let's take a look at what will happen in 1.6.
I thought Member 4, Pokakakamon, had gotten rid of most of the society members. I didn't have a lot of hope for this. Oh, look who's here.
Buzz. Madam Herta, open zone. Buzz.
Is it gonna be like an erudition story?
Clearance zone. Permission status. Madam mundane.
There's much you don't know about the space station. It's crucial to mask your expression until you...
Okay, so it's probably gonna be, since Runmei is involved, it's probably gonna be something to do with the simulated universe. That's probably what's gonna happen.
Ascertain the situation. If not, you'll be full of weaknesses that others can see through.
Runmei herself is pretty interesting because her contributions to the simulated universe are more related to sort of creating the universe itself, sort of like in a petri dish, and she's the one that allowed it to naturally evolve within the servers of whatever you call it. So she's a pretty interesting character we didn't get to explore yet, and since she's being released, I'm kind of hoping we get a little bit of a lore.
A genius move. And how will you counter it? You look troubled. A portrait of internal turmoil. Do try.
What did he just throw? Did he throw his... Was it a piece of chalk?
You look troubled. A portrait of internal turmoil.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a piece of chalk.
Do try to think for yourself.
The gods of the starry skies have abandoned the world. Only the wounded savior can bathe the world in the firelight of destruction. No matter the distance, annihilation will find you.
Oh, is Nous? Is this gonna be a Nous story? Was that Nous talking? That seems interesting. I didn't think that we were gonna get a story related to Nous so soon, because it seems like the next stage is set up for the harmony with Penacony. But this is interesting if we're gonna get a glimpse into what Nous is or what he's been doing, because he has quite a lot of influence in the Xianzhou with Fu Xuan, as well as with Herta and the Genius Society and the Simulated Universe. So I'm kind of surprised that we're gonna get a Nous story this early on.
Audience dice. How ostentatious.
Okay, new character, Xue Yi. I wonder what she can do. I'm pretty sure this is answered in the special program, which I didn't watch, so I'm kind of asking redundant questions here. Oh, it's a simulated universe expansion, of course. I mean, we have Runmei and then Nous. But hold on, they have simulated Nous and selected the time before the demise of number 27, Emperor Rupert. So again, I'm pretty sure they covered this in the special program, but Emperor Rupert was the sentient computer who was brought down by, what's his name? Screwlum. Yeah, he was brought down by Screwlum. So I'm kind of curious why they have simulated Nous and Emperor Rupert. Do their stories overlap in some way? Because we know that Nous evolved from a machine to become the Aeon that we know. And Rupert was basically almost the same. He was a computer that also kind of evolved. So I'm kind of curious whether their stories are going to overlap in any way. Maybe they're going to show like Rupert was on the way to becoming maybe the next Aeon of Erudition. Who knows? Wait, what was that? Was that a toilet? Was that the teleporting toilet thing? What is this? Pets? Are we getting pets? It's a lot of content coming out, even though it's kind of like the end of the 1.0 patch. There seems to be a lot of stuff, which is great. Okay, Okay, before I end this, I also want to include a little bit from the special program, as at the end, if I'm not mistaken, they spoke about Penacony. This might have law implications, so I think it's worth looking over. So I'm gonna just jump to that last part within the special programs. Okay, so I think it's this part, so I'm just gonna play it, and I'm kind of curious what they're gonna talk about in terms of Penacony.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the Family's Charmony Festival Conference. I'm your host,
Charmony Festival?
Albert. This once in an amber era event is near at hand, and the eyes of the universe are fixed firmly on the planet of festivities, Penacony. Tonight, we'll be bringing you all the latest on Charmony Festival. First, let's give a round of applause and welcome the organizer of the festival and representative of the family in Penacony.
We get to see the
Mr.
organizer.
Sunday.
Good evening, dear viewers. I am Sunday.
Well,
Ayato?
good, sir.
Kinda looks a little bit like
Lights
Ayato.
up our humble studio.
You are too kind, Mr. Owlbert. If it were not for the IPM's generous invitation, I would not have had this opportunity to introduce your audience to our festival, nor its location. That is to say, Penacony. Penacony is located in the Asdana star system. It is a holiday destination of universal repute, known to many as the planet of festivity.
So it kind of looks like, of course, content in development, but it kind of looks like it's going to be more like a major city and urban environment kind of map, which is fine. Like we've kind of had a little bit of that in the Shanzhou and a little bit of that in Bellabog. So this looks pretty good.
Our guests will be staying in the Reverie, a luxurious hotel where
It's a
one may
hotel.
travel freely between reality and dreamscape, basking in dreams that are uniquely yours.
I'm curious, what makes this festival different from the previous ones?
Charmony Festival is a Penacony tradition with a long history, and we have built on that foundation to achieve something truly extraordinary. The family on Penacony has, for the first time, issued public invitations to various factions of the cosmos.
Now, see, that's where it becomes kind of curious, because what he said before was that this was a tradition that has been happening with the faction called the family, but this is the first time that they've actually issued public invitation. So what changed? Why have they suddenly started inviting people?
Welcoming them to partake in our magnificent ceremony. Members of the 5 great families, which together make up the family on Penacony, as well as staff members of the Reverie, are united in welcoming the universe to our home.
Rumor has it that your sister, the cosmic superstar Miss Robin, is set to perform at the ceremony.
You heard correctly. On behalf of the family, Robin will be singing at the opening of the festival in honor of the Aeon of Harmony.
Okay, so just a little bit of context there. The family have been known to sing praises and choruses to the Aeon of Harmony. So this is kind of an interesting tidbit that's related to the faction that follows the Harmony, which is the family. So they tend to sing the praises of their Aeon so that everybody across the universe can hear how magnificent their Aeon is. So this is pretty interesting that you have a character that actually does this. And it's lore specific, as in like it's tied to the lore of the family itself.
My sister has already arrived in Penacony, and dress rehearsals are well underway. Our guests are in for quite the show.
Miss Robin's participation will undoubtedly make the ceremony all the more dazzling.
Playable character for sure.
Mr. Sunday, would you be able to divulge any details about the festival's preparations?
All manner of preparations are unfolding as we speak.
Who's
The
this? New
Reverie's
character?
renovation works are drawing to a close, and so too is its human resources overhaul.
That kind of looks like the ticket that all the nameless have on their clothes. Like you can see it on the traveler's clothes. Maybe that's the entrance or something, the entrance ticket or something. I don't know.
Our level of service will be better than ever. Separately, we have introduced performers and service personnel from the Iris family to Penacony's principal scenic areas and leisure facilities.
Okay, that's another thing that's interesting. I know I'm kind of rambling all over the place and kind of interrupting the video, but That's pretty interesting that we learned that the family is run by 5 main families, and each of those families kind of hold leadership positions, with Mr. Sunday here being from one of those families. So I kind of wonder what the structure would be like for the family. I thought they are just a giant congregation of people, but now it kind of sounds like they are a mafia or something. I don't know.
Facilities. I'm sure they will help our guests to feel right at home. Needless to say, safety is our primary concern. And so, the devoted and courageous Bloodhound family will be responsible for security at the festival. Danger
It looks
does
like
not
Rice Tea.
exist in Penacony's dreams. And the family promises that the safety of every guest is guaranteed.
Also, another thing he mentioned was all this dreamscape stuff. I wonder if this whole event is going to take a turn for the worse when they replicate something like what happened in Sumeru with the Samsara and all those things, where they were stealing dreams. So I'm kind of curious whether that's where the story is going.
Of course, the family is also forgiving. Perhaps you are a member of the Annihilation Gang.
Who in the world
Or
is
even
this? It looks
the
evil as hell.
Stellaron Hunters.
Oh, is that a cat? I think some of you know my obsession with the black cat. Like, they're so prominently showing Sam here, who looks really awesome. Obviously, he's going to be a fire element character, but I'm like, where's the cat? That's probably Blade, right? So, I don't know, I can't see this properly. Is that a cat? I don't know.
If you cherish dreams and uphold benevolence, Penacony welcomes your arrival. Since issuing the invitations, we have received many replies from various organizations throughout the universe. Today will be the first time we are publishing the guest list.
All in the service of the
So the IPC, okay.
Amber Lord. He's an executive from the
Okay, so we know who this is. It's Adventurine because we heard it in the conversation with Topaz. So we know IPC is going to be there.
Department and a member of the legendary 10 Stone Hearts, Mr. Adventurine. Explore, understand, establish.
Okay, we know the Trailblazer is going because that's kind of the next destination, so we know that. Oh,
and transcending individual
the Intelligentsia
limitations
Guild.
through an academic network of shared resources. The renowned scholar of the Intelligentsia Guild.
Oh, okay, so Dr. Ratio is from the Intelligentsia Guild. A bit more context about that. The Intelligentsia Guild is basically the second faction that follows the erudition path. But they sort of take scientific discoveries and then change them to be suitable for public use. I guess that's the easiest way to describe it. And their philosophy is that everybody is or has the right or access to knowledge, and that's what they try to do. Whereas the other side of that, which is the Genius Society, is a smaller group but filled with far more, I guess, smarter people compared to the Intelligentsia Guild. But we know that somebody like Herta and one of the past members from the Genius Society has been working with the Intelligentsia Guild to kind of disseminate the discoveries they made. But the majority of the Genius Society don't deal with the Intelligentsia Guild. They don't want to. So that's kind of the law. So it's interesting to see that Dr. Ratio is from the Intelligentsia Guild. So we are kind of getting the other side of erudition's factions here, with the Genius Society being kept to the story related to the simulated universe.
Dr. Veritas Ratio. We think, therefore we are.
Oh, Remembrance is also going to be here.
She's committed to
Black Swan,
safeguarding and
probably.
sharing these memories and able to journey beyond the corporeal into the cosmos. Hails from the Garden of Recollection. It's
Okay, the fact that Black Swan is there, or more specifically, the fact that the Garden of Recollection is there, might be an indication something extremely big is going to happen, because they tend to only appear whenever something significant happens because they want to record those events. So the fact that she's there might mean that something's going to happen in Penacony that will change how the future of the Star Rail universe will function or work.
It's none other than the memo keeper herself, Miss Black Swan. In the uncaring expanse of the
Okay, we know that the Masked Fools are going to be there from Sampo and Giovanni's discussions, right?
cosmos. Elation exists as a balm for sorrow. Forever resilient, never disheartened, ceaselessly untearful, endlessly present, and here representing
Sparkle?
the Masked Fools. Sparkle! Following the path of the hunt, journeying from one planet to another, upholding justice, eradicating evil, and then doing it all over again. She's been away from the spotlight for too long.
Ooh, is this the one that came out in the reveal for the I don't know, the Game Award trailer or something like that? I don't know how to say her name. Is it Acheron? So Acheron is the name of a ship in another movie that, okay, never mind. But what I heard is that she is going to be the Star Rail equivalent of Raiden Shogun. And if that's the case, I'm saving everything for her because I really like Raiden Shogun's design and I'm really hoping her design is almost similar. So this is the character that I'm looking forward towards the most. Like, okay, she seems to be from the Hunt. I don't know what her kit is, but just from design alone, I'm probably going to be summoning for Acheron. I'm going to call her Acheron. That's how I assume she's going to be called.
Representing the Galaxy Rangers, Miss Acheron.
Acheron, sorry.
Stage once more.
On behalf of the family, I hereby warmly welcome our guests to participate in this, our grand celebration. Penacony awaits you.
Okay, there's two things. 1.6 looks like it's gonna be filled with a bunch of gameplay events and stuff, which is great. I hope we do get a little bit of story on the simulated universe with what Ruan has been doing. You know, she has that little secret occurrence thing within the simulated universe where you can get all the blessings from her or something like that. So I really hope we learn a little bit more about that, as well as what is Nous up to. That is probably going to be very interesting in terms of the lore. And then Penacony looks really good. There's going to be so many characters that are converging into one event. And there's a lot of, I guess, wildcards there. You have the Masked Fools, you have the Annihilation Gang, you even have the Stellaron Hunters, who kind of seems like they're all bad guys. I don't know why they're being invited to celebrate this, given they seem to be bad guys. I don't know. But that whole dreamscape thing is kind of giving me Sumeru vibes with the Akasha terminal and all that. So I have a feeling that a lot of the story is going to be in that dreamscape thing. And maybe it's us trying to escape or something like that. I don't know. But it looks to be really good. I'm kind of really super hyped for it. I hope there's a lot more lore for Star Rail. So far, I'm really hooked on the story. So overall, my impressions are really good. I like when they have a little bit of element, gameplay events, as well as lore stuff. Sometimes with Genshin, you get a lot of events that are just gameplay events and there's not a lot of story. And I'm kind of in these two games mostly for the lore. So I'm really happy to see that there's going to be something to do with the Genius Society. There's going to be something to do with Penacony soon, and that's all great. I'm sure that when they get released, then we can judge them for what it is. But for now, I'm really hyped for what's coming out in 1.6 and hopefully what's coming out in 2.0. So thanks so much for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think these upcoming patches are going to be like. Are you hyped for it? Are you not as excited? Are you kind of burnt out with the game? Let me know in the comments. And I'll see you next time. As usual, have a nice day.